Okay, so I'm on my way out of Keene District Court. That's the door to the second floor behind me. Heading down to the first floor where security is and exiting. They really wanted me out of there when I started holding the camera around and taking pictures and rolling video or whatever. Now, I wasn't rolling when... Take care, guys. I wasn't rolling video when the bailiffs came in. It would have been nice to. I probably should have. But I did get some photos of them entering as they came in because I was just snapping photos. And yeah, that was, I got all the information. They just dropped that information and ran out the door. Wanted me out the door. But I was taking issue with the fact that they were saying that for civilians there's a charge for the information, but for journalists it's free. And I said, sure, I'm a journalist. I do things with journalistic intentions. I publish them to the internet for everyone to see for free, not charging. Pretty icy around here. And so I thought it was unfortunate that they would call that into question or be like, oh no, we'll charge for you, or that sort of thing. And I'm also a complaining party in the case that I'm gathering information on. So I have this packet of info. I didn't get a chance to look through. I probably should have if I was meticulous and thought this out. I would have looked through everything that they had given me in that folder initially before trying to or attempting to make a photographic document of it. As soon as I raised the camera, she said, oh, I need to verify that you can do that, and I stopped and said, okay, let her close it up. So the cool thing about this, even though I feel like there was a little hostility against the taking of photos, the act of photojournalism, there was no actual aggression, there was no physical interference. Lance and that sheriff's deputy that came in weren't... Lance was cool-headed as usual. The other guy didn't really say anything, but you could tell they were like, we have to stop this recording from going on. This potential recording. That wasn't going on when they came in. I did make a quick video prior to that. So I have a huge stack of information to go through. I really didn't get anything from... Besides emails. I got some emails from KPD that said confidential at the bottom, do not share, related to this case, and I've made public all the information that I've shared with them. So yeah, I think openness is important. I realize that the courts may have some secrecy element about them, but I don't think that's in the best interest of community safety. If there's a crime or someone that's a potential threat to others, the most important thing to do is share that information rather than, and share that objective information, not sharing inaccurate information, sharing as complete information as possible, such as the videotape. I mean, nothing gets more accurate than having video evidence of something. That's an objective record. Video, audio, multiple angles, even better. So this is a journalistic endeavor to get this information out there. It also could be a project as part of Keene Peaceful Streets, which, is that a journalistic effort, or is that just in... Where is this line between like information and journalism? It's based on outdated concepts of you need to be registered with some organization or journalistic entity in order to be recognized as a journalist. And I have filmed through the authorization of the Free Keene publicity thing, and from what I understand from that, it's just that if you're a recognized journalist, you can take video and photos, I guess related to specific trials. It doesn't say anything about asking for permission each time, so I'd like to think the courts, based on that, should have laxed a bit. Now, Lance, when we were in the room, when Lance and the other guy entered the room, Lance said something about, well, I could show you the order, and I said, no, 91A says that the photographing and making copies is completely legal under the law. Like, if you're allowed to see it, you're allowed to document it. And Lance just said, no, the order, pointing to the order, and it's just falling back on that judicial decree. Because even though New Hampshire statute backs up the right to record in this instance, that judicial decree of his boss, inevitably, all those bailiffs' bosses, that is what supersedes what is right, that you can just make the record. Now I got the records, I have them here, so I'm going to scan them, photograph them. Now these are actually probably lesser quality than I would have gotten had I been able to photograph them, because these are photographs in black and white on paper of documents that were original inside the court filing. So some of these are like, you know, carbon paper and stuff, and it's legible, but having a photograph of the original would have been more like having a digital scan of the original than this is. And so that's why I think it's unfortunate. The court here in New Hampshire doesn't want you to see, or, well, I don't think they care if you see it, but for some reason they take issue with you being able to see what the original filing looked like, because they won't let me individually document it. They only will allow it to be scanned. Now, I guess if one were a conspiracy theorist, they could say that maybe there's something in the ink that they put on the original so that if you scan it, you're not getting the same information. But I don't believe that for a second. Never attribute to malice what is attributable to incompetence. And so one incompetence in this case, well, actually it's not really an incompetence, it's just an unfortunate adherence to authority, or fallback onto authority, is this idea that you can't film or document the environment up there in the court, and I think that's ludicrous. Anywhere that a human being is allowed to go, they should be allowed to document their environment. Whatever they can hear, whatever they can see, they should be able to share with others using technology. And to limit one's ability to do that is to limit their ability to what was the concept of free speech. However, that's a limiting term. It's much broader than that, the free expression of ideas and experience. So they didn't want that experience shared with you, but I'm sharing it with you now audibly as best I can, and maybe with a little text to accompany this. If you're interested in a case, if you're a party to a case, I encourage you, if you want to learn more information, go down to the courts with a video camera and a photographic camera, and do what you can to document what's going on. And when there's more people doing it, they're more likely to stand down. I'm glad I didn't get arrested today.